And speaking of events that women of a certain age flock to, right? So we were just talking about. I feel like we would see Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Was she there this year? I'm surprised if she wasn't there. Who else was probably, did they have Sarah Fontenot or whatever her name is, right? Was she there? I mean, if they did not, that's what I'm talking about, right? These are women who are part of the lexicon, the culture. I would think that they're also the age range, the target demo. We all saw Girls Trip, right? But that's not what this conversation is about, though. Right? This conversation about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, and by extension, Sarah Fontenot, I think hopefully I'm pronouncing her name right, is, are women cooked, baked, flambéed, you know what I'm saying? Baked even, right? That's after 35. Cheyenne Bryant, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, was, I think, on The Truth After Dark with Paul Pierce. I mean, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, Paul will get the truth. You feel me? I mean, that's a little bit of shade. But anyway, she was on the pod, and I guess Paul was like, hey, man, women after 35 are kind of cooked. You dig what I'm saying? And so I think she kind of was like telling him the reasons why that's not true. I found it interesting, though, in part of the conversation, she talked about how she was ready for a baby at 42 and how that would change how she approaches relationships versus when she was in her 30s and 20s. Ironically, I think Paul did get some of the truth out of her. And I don't know if she was aware of how that came across, but nonetheless, the conversation being, are women over 35 cooked? But let me pause right there, because it's not just women, period. Because the problem that I have, right, is, are women who would seem like they should not be single at 35 and never been married at 35 and never had a kid at 35 but still want these things, right? I think, let's be precise. Are those women after 35 cooked, right? Because let's be honest, a lot of us would be like, well, why are these women saying? Listen, before I even get into my riff about this, what are y'all? Because I was about to go. I was about to introduce it and then take off. So let me reel it in. So what are you guys' thoughts in regards to the idea that a woman who seemingly has it all and represents a woman who should have everything she wants, but is still single, childless, and never been married at the age of 35, right? Proposals notwithstanding. What are y'all thoughts about that? Are women over 35 cooked like goose or geese if they're not? What are y'all thoughts?
Go ahead, SNM. You want to jump in there? You got a nod of disapproval.
I do have a nod of disapproval because first I'm going to say, so here's the problem. So if a woman chose marriage before carriage and they chose to have career before marriage, before carriage, there's a problem. So we're constantly telling women to close their legs and wait until they're married and whatnot. And if she's not ready to get married until she's after 35, then why the hell does it matter if she wasn't married before 35? Why does it matter that she waited to have a child until after she was 35 if our issues is with the so-called baby mamas and the single mothers of the world? If we're constantly, so you can't say on one hand, single mothers are an issue, and then on the other hand, clown somebody who don't want to be a single mother or have a baby outside of marriage and whatnot. So I call bullshit on all of this because at the end of the day, I feel like this whole ideal, and I'm going to go broad a little bit, even though I know you went very specific, which is why I addressed that first. This whole ideal is so fucking dusty and tired that women are done after 35, especially since the only thing that seems to be cooked to me is y'all delusion, not y'all right here, you two. Well, maybe we'll see what y'all say. But the delusion that women are cooked just because they're reached this age. And so I personally think this is because men tend to reach that their peak at 19 and think because they got a beard and a podcast, no shade, Devin, that make them philosophers or old ass men that may have something going for them. And now after running through age appropriate women, all of a sudden they're leaving heartbreak and baby mamas around, want to turn around and say, well, women are cooked if they're over the age of 35. Nah, you cooked. That's what the problem is because you cook. There's a lot of projection in this. Now, what I will say, because I already know what y'all going to talk about, you're going to talk about at least biologically. Well, you know what? It turns out fertility is not something that's actually an issue for women over 35. Now, if she hitting 50, it might be a little issue there. But thanks to modern medication, she can still have a kid. Now, is the best time to have a kid? Probably not. So you may want to think about that. But at the end of the day, you're not shopping for cattle. Women over 35 can still crank out babies. I know folks in their 42s cranking out babies if that's what the problem is. And I think not every woman wants to be a starter kit anyways. That's the husband and the family at before 35. There's some people who value their careers first. There are some people who value their education first. There are some people who want to be whole, able-bodied adults before they enter marriage with another whole, able-bodied adult. And I'm going to land there because I feel like if I keep going, I'm going to give away some of my nuggets. So let me get y'all feedback. And Devin, once again, no shade because I know you on a podcast with the beard. So I just want to make sure you knew it wasn't
beard
that cute.
slander is amazing. Jeez, I put my good lace front on too. That's crazy. Cheyenne Bryant is. I watched the podcast. I watched the entire Paul Pierce podcast. I took notes. I read the transcript, and he did the Lord's work. Cheyenne Bryant is full of shit. And I'm going to tell you why. She brought this completely on herself. She is 42. God bless her. Now, what's actually happening is she admitted Paul Pierce got this out of her. She's been in a 5-year situationship with a guy 9 years her junior. And he asked her, are you, so on top of all that, he asked her, are you dating? She said, I have companions with an S. So the guy she's in a situationship, he wants a commitment with her. She admitted that. Got to read the transcript. She's telling him, no, I don't want a commitment with you right now. You got some growth to do or some other, nebulous pseudo, psychobabble. So she's the one stringing him along. And if she wants to be outside, that's cool. But her complaining that she's not getting this thing that she says she wants, I'm like, look, if you want to be outside, that's cool. Just do that. Paul Pierce didn't let her gaslight him. He had to keep walking her to it, but he got it out of her, and now the shit's out there. And I really kind of feel some kind of way like you're telling people how to get some shit you don't actually have or know how to get, and maybe you just don't want it. Because let's think about it like this. And this is why I can't take it seriously. When Kevin Samuels was still alive, everybody was like, oh, well, you're not married. How are you giving relationship advice? You don't have a wife. You're not in a relationship. Well, if we got to disqualify what Kevin Samuels said, by that standard, we got to disqualify Cheyenne Bryant too. She got to get up out the chat. So I can't take it seriously. I'm sorry.
But Del, did you answer the question? Now I feel you on that, but I want to see your answer to: are women over 35 cooked? I mean, Cheyenne.
No, I don't think
42.
So. I don't think so. Do I think they have the same options at 25? No, but I don't think they're cooked.
You don't think they're cooked?
No.
Gotcha. Okay. So do you think that women who have, who present,
who have it all, yes.
Do you think those women are over 35 are cooked?
I think they're in a tough situation because I think women can have, because the argument is like, can women have it all? Yes, you can't have it all at once. And you're running out of time because a lot, again, using Cheyenne Bryant as an example, a lot of the men that she wants, she's literally in the room with these men. Why are they not picking you? Or why did they pick you 5 years? That's the $1 million question.
And thank you for bringing it to where I needed it to be. Pause if necessary. Because here's the thing, right? Cooked is subjective, right? I mean, cooked, the word in and of itself can have multiple meanings and variations of a meaning, right? And then the person applying it, right? So for example, Paul Pierce would probably be age appropriate for maybe Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, or maybe a little bit older, but he's not that much older. Like maybe an older gentleman. I think she would probably go for a nigga his, age and wealth by, for all intents and purposes. But in his eyes, he looks at her and he thinks, oh, she's cooked. Right? She's cooked. So
he's 47.
So is it possible, Paul Pierce is 47, right?
He's 47.
Paul Pierce is only 47? God damn. What did I do with my life? But
right? No, like he Asian though.
No, because I thought he was
like
way
53.
older.
I thought he was like 53.
Yeah, but you know what? Perfect, right?
Asian
So
like milk.
That actually proves my point, right? So if she's 42, 47, that's right in the nice little breadbasket of age difference, and he has the wealth, right? And so from his perspective, when he says those women are cooked, he's really talking about her, right? But not to her face, for real, for real. And by cooked, he means that, yes, I will engage with you for sexual activity and coitus, but for what you want, you're cooked, right? Delvin was saying that nicely, right? Well, she can't have the same expectations, but she still does, right? And if she does, for the guy that she wants to fulfill those expectations, I think the chances are pretty high that to that guy, she's cooked. And does that mean she can't find a couple of guys out there who might fit the profile, who might say, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and wife you. Yeah, that's possible. But let me tell you the other reason I think she specifically is cooked is because the jig is up.